just a quick tutorial on my GeoTab. You'll go to my.geotab.com and put in your username and password. Your username is your email address, and your password is whatever you set up when I sent you the password reset email. Hit login, and it should take you to a dashboard, which may or may not be useful to you. You can see activity log, the customer versus non-customer time. That's based on geofences I took out of Salesforce a few months ago. It's not extremely accurate because of the parking lots sometimes not being near the actual address. So the truck might be parked outside of the geofence even though they really are at a customer. But obviously the driving pie is right and the office pie is right. Business versus personal, that's just based on the hours 7:30 to 5:30 on weekdays. So 57% of the driving across the whole company is during business hours. Number of stops, pretty self-explanatory. Speeding report by person, max speed by person. Unauthorized home stops, that's giving you the number of hours somebody spent at home in the last week, between the hours of 7:30 and 5:30 on weekdays. Average miles per gallon, estimated idling cost, just based on, I can't remember, $2 a gallon, $2.25, something like that. Seatbelt violations, mileage trend, yeah. Anyway, interesting, but not real useful. The really useful stuff is in this map area. Click map. And you'll probably only see the trucks for your area. I'm going to zoom into Dallas area. Each of these little dots is one of those geofences I was talking about. It's probably a customer location from Salesforce. Each of these is one of our trucks. The square, I believe, means stopped. The triangle means they're driving and that's the direction they're going. These little yield or warning sign things are things GeoTab might think we're interested in seeing. Like that is saying that Jason Vaughn's obviously parked going forward instead of in reverse because he had to back up when he was leaving. The next thing you can do is you could click on one of these guys or click on these little arrows next to their names if that's easier. I'm going to use the map. When you left click on one of these, it gives you a bunch of options. You may not have all the ones I've got because I'm an administrator, but the one that's going to be interesting to you is show trip. So I'm looking at one of the driver's trips, and the way it lists them is kind of weird, but you can click on the different places they've stopped. This is all the stops they've made. Not all of them on those days. Like I'm going to guess there's more stops on the 21st. You'd have to go to the next page, but apparently no. Oh, that's today. It's not all the stops on the 20th. There might be some on the previous page. Yeah, there's 3 more on the 20th. But just keep in mind, this is not a conclusive list of the stops on those 2 days. But when you click on the stops, it will show you the route he took to get there and the any warnings that were going on at the time, like he did not wear his seatbelt that whole time. Anyway, today he started out, that's 3, 4, and 5. Stops 1 and 2. He started right here, drove up there, came back down here and stopped again. Must have left his truck idling at this stop. That's probably not something we want to do, but then after that he came this way, apparently put his seatbelt on right here. That's probably when it started beeping at him incessantly. Drove up this way, hooked a left at Emory and went to Lone Oak. Stopped right there, and then stopped right here. Again, no seatbelt. If we want to look at some of these stops, you can zoom in and use this little plus button over here in the top right of the map and say satellite. He stopped at whatever that is. I can't tell, but looks like it might be a customer or a gas station. It's probably a gas station. And he came over here. That's probably where he was going. Actually, that's where he is right now. But you get the idea. The other place you can go is see a list of the vehicles. I'm not sure that's going to be any more useful than the map. Might give, yeah, it gives you the odometer and engine hours if that's at all interesting to you. This next button, when you click it, it gives you a bunch more options. You can say risk management, and you need to choose a time period. I'm going to say last week, and this time I'm going to look at myself. Oh, maybe it's not going to make me choose a vehicle. It's not. Okay, we're going to look at everybody last week. Apply changes. And it shows you the distance that people went, the idling time. That'll knock your socks off. Think about the gas we're spending there. The number of times they idled for more than 5 minutes. And the number of after-hours trips. When you click on somebody, let's not click on me because I'm not that interesting a driver. I'll prove it just because nobody's going to believe me. Number of times I was speeding over 70 miles per hour to over 80, 0, over 90, 0. Average speed 24 miles per hour because all I do is go to work and go home. Number of stops and how long the stops were. But let's look at a salesman. Maybe Greg Parker. Look at a Houston person. Number of times he's been in 1 week speeding over 70, 58. Over 80, 28. Average speed 37. Lots of idling time. His stops were, he had several that were longer than 50 minutes. I'm guessing they were probably lunch and a few customer visits. But he's got a lot of customer visits that were under 25 minutes. Or under 10 minutes. 25 calls that were under 10 minutes. 11 that were greater than 10 minutes but under 20. 8 that were greater than 20 and under 30, etc. You get the idea. Speed profile. Same button below risk management. This is where we can pick somebody. I'm going to say last week and me. Apply changes. And when you look at a week, it's kind of goofy, and I don't drive very long because I'm in Lubbock where there isn't 5 o'clock traffic, and all I'm doing is going to work and to pick up the kids, etc. But you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in, or the little plus thing up here. And let's look at this one. You can see there's how fast I was going at different times, and the yellow thing is the speed limit. So I was speeding there, speeding there, speeding there, etc. The other area, I'm not sure if you'll be able to get into it, but I can always send you a report. Actually, Jonathan Curry can send you a report because he's technically supposed to be doing this system. But I'll give you an idea what it is. Under this little no smoking sign, there's an exceptions report. I may have... Well, let's go back. I think I confused it because I hit it twice. Okay, let's say last week, and let's say all of the vehicles, and we're going to look at maybe we're worried about speeding and harsh cornering, harsh braking, harsh acceleration, and backing up when leaving. So we're looking at a bunch of safety stuff. Okay, it did select it. Hit apply changes. It's going to give us a report. Let's see how bad I was. Backing up when leaving. Yep, that's me. 4 times last week. But you can see some people either don't know the rule or just choose not to do it at all. Holy cow. Holy cow. Speeding. This is number of times. That's the amount of time and the distance. Over the last week. Harsh cornering. Not very long, but it does tell you they're taking corners at speed, which is a unsafe habit. And the G-forces they have you choose are really conservative. I mean, I'm not even showing up on the list, and I'm not driving excessively slow when I'm turning corners. So these are some majorly fast corners, like, oops, I forgot, and turning the corner before braking, that type of thing. Harsh braking, not very many of them. Probably some, oh crud, I saw a stop sign at the last second. Harsh acceleration, that's just people that are in a hurry and putting wear on an engine for no reason. Okay. And that's all I think that y'all will find interesting in here at the moment. If you have any questions, you can try to get a hold of me, or you can also email or call Jonathan Curry. He sits in Lubbock Case, branch 13. His email is jcurry@ascoeq.com. Thanks.